So we get on down. That's in verse 2. So she went and she borrowed the vessels, and then she had instructions. So she's still not quite together. So what did he say in verse 4? He said, when you get these vessels, then just get in the house, shut the door. Boom. Shut the door on yesterday. Shut the door on, I thought it was going to be this way, and it didn't turn out like that. I prayed, and it went south instead of north. I thought God was going to answer this prayer this way. I thought, just shut the door. Shut the door. And shut the door. I don't know. Hopefully you don't have people like this, but you might have people in your life that you're like, I got a bright idea. I woke up this morning and God said, okay, let's storm the gates and let's do this, let's do that. And they go, that was a dumb idea. So you might have some of those people in your life. So there's things that you need to shut the door on, but most of all, you need to shut the door on not seeing correctly. Because even if you only have a dab of oil, that's enough for God to do anything with. He always talks about seed. You heard all those years, those many famous years of Oral Roberts, seed faith, seed faith. You only have one seed, but God can do something with what you have. So shut the door on whatever it is you need to shut the door on. Some of you need to stop watching so much TV and movies and eating and everything else. Shut the door and get in there and get in your prayer closet. Matthew 6:6. Get in there, shut the door, and find out what God is saying to you. Shut the door. What is God saying about the situation? The creditors are saying, I'm going to take your sons and, but what is God saying in that secret place where you're praying? This is really good, isn't it? Is this helping you? Let me know. I need some comments out there. I need to find out. I spent a lot of time studying and praying and fasting. I need to know if it's working. Is it helping you guys? Anyway, shut the door. This scripture, I know the scripture inside and out because it helped me one time when I had nothing. But God said, this is what I want for you. And I said, all right, show me how to do it. And he woke me up at 3:00 in the morning and he told me exactly. He said, I want you to have that. Borrow vessels, not a few, make it happen. And he talks to me like that. When he said, make it happen, I said, okay, 5:00, I'm calling everybody I know. And I did exactly that. 5:00, I started calling all my neighbors for vessels, borrowing vessels. Anyway, so that's another story. But then Matthew 25, I want you to look at this. And Matthew 25, people have heard it taught every which way you can teach it. But Matthew 25 talks about talents. So a lot of times, if we don't have our head on just right and we're thinking incorrectly, what happens to us is, well, I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing. At least that lady said, I got a little something. So Matthew 25 explains to us when you start, I think it starts at verse 14, I think it is. Yes. So he talks about how the master gave talents or abilities or monies to one talent to one person, 2 talents to another, 5 talents to another. And I want you to think about, we're getting ready to go into a new year and a new season. So think about I got 1 talent. Don't go bury it. Do not do that because you think God is mean. Okay. That's exactly what that amounted to. If you got 2, hey, let's think in terms of 2 and let's think in terms of 5 this year. If 2 be in agreement, I can tell you all day long about 2, so 2 of us agreeing together. So each one of them had been given something. God has given you something. You got some talent, and that could mean talent or skill. But in this case, this Matthew 25 is actually talking about money. God gave them some type, just like that lady, that little bit of oil. He gave her some type of way to increase financially. And so what has he given you? And don't be like the one, oh my, like go and bury it, be scared, or spend it and get in debt where you can't get out. So, because what happens is if we can take the 1 talent, the 2 talent, or the 5 talents, We can take what God has given us, multiplication, increase and multiplication can start happening. So what do you have? What abilities do you have on the inside of you? Because every one of us has been given something. Remember when he was talking to Moses and he told Moses, he said, hey, I want you to go over there and deliver this whole nation. Can you imagine? I mean, like it's a magnitude. An MGM production wouldn't even begin to cover it, okay, what he was about to do. And so Moses said, how can I do that? And the Lord said, what do you got in your hand? And he said, well, I got this piece of stick called a rod. And he said, use that authority. And so I'm asking you, what do you have in your hand? What do you have at your disposal? I hope you're thinking about this, really thinking about it, and don't be thinking what you don't have. Well, I don't have a this and I don't have a that. No, we're talking about what you do have. Okay. So what do you have? What abilities? I talk to people all the time. You know, Jesus said you'll have the poor with you always. And talk to people, being poor is like a mindset or something that has to be broken because we just think, well, I don't have anything. I can't do anything. I can't get past here. And we're not looking around and seeing what we do have. Sometimes we look at what we do have and we think, oh, that's just a piece of junk. I mean, look at Carter. He looked at a peanut land. Look what came from that. A little peanut. And so what do you have? What talent, what skills, what abilities? And when you increase in those things, when you increase and take time, be studious, take time to study, take time to pray, take time to do research. As you begin to increase in those things, people ask me all the time, how do you know all this stuff about building and things like that? And I said, I don't know how to tell you, except when I was growing up, my dad just had us do everything. And so I learned how to do this and I learned how to do that. And then over the years, I learned more and more and more. It was the same thing when we got ready to go into ministry. It was like, how are you going to do that? Well, it was really interesting because when we got ready to go into full-time ministry, I worked for a Bible school for 1 year. So then when Pastor Bob Nichols asked us to start his Bible school, I already knew how to do a Bible school because I had gained insight. I had gained knowledge. I had gained understanding. I understood how to do it this way, and don't do it this way. This works and that won't work. So you can do the same thing. Guess what? I have a surprise for you. We're doing a special bundle for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It is His Blood Speaks, Hidden Faces in Prophetic Places, where you can find out secret things from God. It's going to be $29.99. Guess what? You can get it from gingerziegler.com. And you need to buy a bunch of these for Christmas because this will be a #1 Christmas present because it's going to help us through the days ahead. It's going to change a lot of things because you can speak the blood, stop Satan in his tracks, and then you can get in there and pray those secret prayers, and God will say, I got something to tell you. Thank you for watching this clip today, and just click below and you can see the full broadcast. You're going to really enjoy it, and make sure that you like and share and subscribe and all those things because it